Why did Dr. McDougall die? He died because he's a human. That is the simple fact. He died because he is a human. Now, a lot of people don't know this about Dr. McDougall, but he had a stroke at 18. So imagine the kind of genetic composition you must have a stroke at 18. And the fact that he managed to live till 77, which is the average age at which people die in the US, is remarkable. And it is a testament to the power of a vegan diet. His diet is very similar. It's probably the most similar to the blue zone diets of all of the vegan ways of eating. It's high starch foods, right, with very little fat. And that is how the blue zones eat, most of the blue zones, particularly the Hunzas up in the mountains, I think it's in Pakistan, and the Okinawans, right? Sweet potato munching all day, right? So it is the most similar to those diets. When he says my diet is science-based, he didn't mean that lots of people have done research on the specific McDougall diet. What he meant was that there's been a lot of research done on the blue zone diets, and his diet is very similar. The main difference is that it was a lot stricter in terms of starches and no animal fats, right? But otherwise it was extremely similar. But there are differences. Right, so Dr. McDougall grew up in the US. He had a stroke at 18. I don't think that was happening to the Okinawans 100 years ago, or the Hunzas. I don't think they had 18-year-old children having strokes. So we're in different worlds. These are different worlds, and your genes are layered down over generations based on what your family were eating. So there's going to be limitations. In my own estimation, I think that you can probably extend your lifespan from your gene set point, maybe a decade either way. Maybe if you really hurt yourself, you die 10 years earlier. And if you really look after yourself, you live an extra 10 years. But that's a stretch. I do think it's really down to your gene makeup. And I think that he did the best that he possibly could with the lot that he had. And the proof of this is that he died in his sleep peacefully, and he was making videos on his channel a week ago, right? It fully compos mentis. So it's not like he was having health problems. It's more like his genetic switch point was reached and it said, that's enough. Thank you very much. Right? And that's going to happen to all of us, and we don't know where it is. So it is very confusing, unfortunately, but the world is confusing. Like my mum, I'm on the phone with her the other day. She's on a little holiday with my dad. And I says, how's it going? Because I always check in. She goes, great. I'm really doing well on the drinking. I'm down to a glass of wine and a pint of Guinness a day. Right? I'm like, what are you doing for breakfast? And she says, oh, it's going really, really well. I've really cut down on the fats. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, I'm having poached egg, bacon and toast with butter. Cut down on the fats. She's 81, he's 82, right? They've hardly ever done one thing for their health. They never exercise. They eat standard English food day in, day out. He smokes. She's really into cakes. And they're traveling around right now in England on a narrowboat going up and down locks. So you just don't know what your gene makeup is and how far you're going to go on this journey. But what I would take away from Dr. McDougall, and this applies to all of the plant-based doctors, because I've been interviewing a lot of them over at Plant-Based News. Go and check it out. It's been such a great collaboration. Those guys are fantastic, and they invited me to start interviewing all of my heroes. So it's like a dream come true. However, what I learned from these doctors is that they are passionate. They live fully. They are always working towards their purpose. They're not dilly-dallying around, scrolling on YouTube, looking at what this is, feeling sorry for themselves, whatever it is. They are just in the zone, sharing information, saving the lives of people and preventing the harm of animals day in, day out. And Dr. McDougall was the same. That man has spent 59 years dedicated, right, to the health of others and dedicated to promoting a plant-based diet and helping the plight of the animals. And that is commendable. That is worth way more than an extra 10 years just doing whatever in terms of your contribution to the planet.
If you're not a vegetarian, I'd like you to try eating like one for just one evening. I guarantee you're going to feel better. But I believe you can eat healthfully even in a fast food restaurant. And today I'm going to show you how. Hi, I'd like to have a baked potato with broccoli, but no cheese. And I'd like to have the salad bar with lemon wedges. And how about a glass of water? In terms of properly nourishing themselves, is that there's a diet that best supports human health. And that diet is centered around starch, like rice or potatoes, or sweet potatoes, corn, taro, with vegetables and fruits. And you know something? In about 10 days, we get almost everybody off of blood pressure pills, diabetic medications, heart medications, and they've lost a considerable amount of weight in that period of time.
And he will be remembered by millions. I've already been over to his channel and there's lots of beautiful quotes there where his work will live on in the bellies and in the minds of all of us. So the one thing I want to add, and this is my last point, is I am vegan for the animals. It wouldn't matter if you could prove to me that I would live an extra 10 years if I started eating meat. It's just not going to happen because I don't feel that it aligns with who I am. I don't feel I have a right to consume the body of another being that needs it to live its life. It just feels like I wouldn't want someone to eat me so they can live longer, so I wouldn't do the same to others. And what this does is it makes my reaction to this type of information, the early demise of a plant-based doctor, to be minuscule because it doesn't affect me because I'm a vegan. And it's as simple as that. And the contrary point to that is in 2019 there was a well-known carnivore, Cruz or something. He died at 44 from a heart attack, right? That is very different from passing peacefully in your sleep at the age of 77. So if we're going to start having dietary wars about longevity, I put my money on the vegan camp having more proof of its success than any other dietary lifestyle in the world. But even so, I don't care. I don't eat animals, and it's simple as that. So thank you, Dr. McDougall, for all of the work you've done. You've been a great pioneer in this arena. I wish I'd got the chance to interview you. That would have been a dream come true. Unfortunately, I didn't. But luckily, you did a fantastic job at sharing your work with the world because it's literally available everywhere. And go take a look and enjoy your plant-based lifestyle and do the best you can to live the life you love rather than focusing on trying to extend a life that you don't. Okay, I will see you in the next video.